The Bible is full of incredible women. These women teach us about courage, love, and faith. One such woman is Rachel. Rachel's story is a powerful testament to the faithfulness of God. She faced many challenges in her life, but through it all, she remained steadfast in her faith. Rachel is a key figure in the Old Testament. She was the wife of Jacob. She was also the mother of Joseph and Benjamin. These two sons became important patriarchs of the 12 tribes of Israel. Rachel's story is not just a personal one. Her life played a crucial role in the history of God's chosen people. Rachel's story is a reminder that God sees us. He hears our cries. He understands our deepest desires. Her life encourages us to trust in God's timing. His plans are always for our good. Rachel's story, like many in the Bible, is also a love story. It's a story of passionate love, bitter rivalry, and enduring hope. Her journey reminds us that even in the face of adversity, faith and love can prevail. Her legacy continues to inspire us today. She teaches us to embrace faith, hope, and the unwavering love of God. Rachel's story is deeply intertwined with Jacob's. Their love story began at a well. Jacob was immediately captivated by Rachel's beauty. She was tending her father's sheep. Jacob was smitten. He worked for Rachel's father, Laban, for 7 years to win her hand in marriage. This shows the depth of his love for her. However, their love story was not without its trials. Laban tricked Jacob on his wedding night. Jacob ended up marrying Leah, Rachel's older sister. Imagine Jacob's surprise when he realized he had been deceived. This deception created tension and rivalry between the sisters. Despite the complicated circumstances, Jacob still loved Rachel. He worked another 7 years for Laban to finally marry her. This demonstrates the power of their love. It also highlights the societal norms of the time. The rivalry between Rachel and Leah continued. They both desired Jacob's love and affection. This rivalry brought pain and hardship for all involved. The story of Jacob, Rachel, and Leah is a complex one. It reveals the human capacity for both love and jealousy. It also sets the stage for Rachel's deepest desire to become a mother. One of the most poignant aspects of Rachel's story is her struggle with infertility. In a time when having children, especially sons, was highly valued, Rachel's inability to conceive caused her great distress. The Bible tells us that Rachel envied her sister Leah, who bore Jacob many children. Rachel's pain was palpable. She cried out to God, pleading for a child of her own. Her desperation is heartbreaking. It reminds us of the deep longing for motherhood that many women experience. Rachel's cries weren't just for a child. They were cries for understanding, for relief from her pain. Years passed, and Rachel remained childless. Her faith was tested. She questioned God's plan. She even felt anger and resentment towards her sister. Rachel's vulnerability in this situation makes her story relatable even today. Infertility is a silent struggle that many couples face. Rachel's story reminds us that we are not alone in our pain. God sees our tears. He hears our cries. He understands our deepest desires. God heard Rachel's prayers. He saw her faithfulness. He opened her womb and she finally conceived and gave birth to a son. She named him Joseph, which means God will add. This name reflects Rachel's faith and her belief that God would continue to bless her with children. Joseph's birth was a turning point in Rachel's life. Her joy knew no bounds. God had answered her prayers. He had shown her that he had not forgotten her. Joseph became the apple of his parents' eyes. He was a symbol of God's faithfulness and Rachel's enduring hope. Years later, Rachel gave birth to another son. She named him Benjamin, which means son of my right hand. However, Rachel's joy was short-lived. She died in childbirth. Her death was a devastating loss for Jacob and her sons. Despite the tragedy, Rachel's sons, Joseph and Benjamin, went on to play pivotal roles in the history of Israel. Joseph's story of forgiveness and reconciliation with his brothers is one of the most powerful in the Bible. Benjamin became the father of one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Rachel's legacy lived on through her sons.